Today we're going to be painting in the test screen for the Black Royal Magenta AR-15. We changed it from purple to magenta. So I thought magenta would sound, I like the name of it. All right, so this is the color of the screen paint right here. As I told you before, it is a purple, a dark purple color. I'm going to put some of this. I got some of this remaining on here. I want to put some of this on my screen because I don't want this going to waste. And this is a test screen we usually paint in when we start getting ready to run tests for the ultra short throws and some of the other sample sheets and so and so forth. So that screen's used for testing. I already have 135 of that upstairs. Painted for myself for my own screen. This was supposed to be a custom coating just for myself, but after receiving a few emails last night, and I decided that we're going to have this so everybody can have a chance to check out this screen paint. And this stuff is absolutely beautiful. As you can see from the test demonstrations we did right from the door, with the 3 certifieds, they were not able to keep up with the screen's color capabilities. They were only able to produce higher white levels. That's basically about it. But as I said before, you know, most people, or actually all people who have projectors, want something that's going to be able to pop, make their colors pop, and not have an image come up where it's going to be where your colors are going to wash out. You're not going to get that contrast level. So this is a test screen we use. We're doing our test on, and we'll be testing the screen against other screen paints also too, along with certified projection screens. These tests are all done to back up the screen's technology capabilities and to also show the test that these screens have to undergo. All right, so I'm going to start getting something to prop up so I can start painting this and get this ready for demonstrations for Monday. I need to do all my paint-ons live. Now, I've said this many times in demonstrations. If you're painting a screen for the first time new, hold on a minute. Got to paint. If you're painting a screen for the first time new, usually most fixed frame screens have something called a protective coating. The protective coating is there so that the screen can be wiped down and so forth. Usually this causes the paint to separate a little bit. So put a light coat on first and then go back over it with a heavy coat. All right, we'll get the rest of our paint from out of that, so that's good, because I don't want to waste any of this. Corners. That's it. Alright, I'm going to get the rest of my paint and start in on this. Doesn't seem to take a tumble. There we go. First. Oh man. All right. Okay, I don't know why that keeps happening, but we'll figure that one out. Let's get you guys taped down. That's weird. All right. Can't get a stand to stay in one place. I'm not rocking and I'm not that freaking heavy. We're shifting with me. So I don't know what's going on with that. It's weird. I don't remember applying that much force. This will be the first one that I actually went in and painted my 135-inch first. I never do that with the screen paint. Usually, I'll play with it a little bit on the test, and then maybe later on, I'll go and I'll paint my screen. This is after all the tests have been done. I painted one of these screens in 135-inch upstairs, and that was done before any of the tests were done. That's how much I like the screen. Painted that thing in before the test even started. I liked the way the colors popped on this, as I said before, out of all the different forms of exotics we designed. This particular one, the color is absolutely incredible. Yeah, this had to be painted on at 135 upstairs. What is going on with this stand? All right. That's the weirdest thing. My stand is literally moving by itself from one side to the next. We got to take that down. All right. Let's nip this in the butt right now so we don't have this problem. But yeah, like I said, that I've never painted a screen painted a screen on any of my screens in here without it going through a test first. This stuff was not even tested yet, and I got 135 of it upstairs. I was gaming on it last night. Freaking impressive. It's absolutely beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I still haven't used all the paint. This is the paint left over from yesterday. Some of it left over from yesterday. Still got plenty of it left over. Press that in, just put it over. Where's the motion on? Right, that fast. That fast, I quit losing stuff. So we need, I'm gonna have to make myself 5 gallons of this. see? It comes to my screen. Nicely. A little bit of this. There we go. Bone dry. There, last little bit that I had left over and finished off the test screen. That's not bad. I got a lot out of a gallon. Get my areas in there real good. So out of a gallon, I was able to paint a 135-inch screen. I was able to paint a 92-inch screen and a 50-inch screen twice. That's what I got out of a gallon. Very good coverage. So I decided that I may not be posting anymore to this channel. We got a new channel we're going to be starting, which is going to be Christian Home Theater. I want to attract, like I said, I'm moving my company in a more bigger direction. And like I said, I'm actually too also acquiring church contracts. I would like to see my company catering to Christians. Ugh. We're going to be doing something different. I tell people when I see jokers go on, I've seen Christian talk shows and stuff like that, and there'll be individuals that go on there and talk about all kinds of satanic symbols and all that stuff. At the end of the day, don't bother these people none because they're protected by God. You just invited something into your home that you might not be able to get out of there. If you don't believe in the devil, you don't believe he exists, you will. If one of those things walk into your house, you'll believe then. You also want to start believing in God. Don't get me wrong, the devil ain't got to come in the form of a demon with horns and a tail and hoofs. He can be an everyday man walking down the street with a loaded pistol. You would never see it coming. The devil can take the form of anything he wants. It's one of his powers. He can take the form of anything he wants. It even says in the Bible, he can take the form of an angel. So if you're out there cursing and carrying on toward Christians, you've already invited one already in. Think about that one. You're going to need the Lord your God to be to protect you against that because you can't fight that. Isn't that interesting? All right, we got the test screen is done. That's all finished. Now, the reason why I'm deciding this year to branch out with companies because, as I said before, at the end of the day, in those contracts, I'm guaranteed with my minimum. A minimum, which blessed me to be able to do things on a much larger scale. Now, we need all this for our test. Let me see how crazy I painted the screen this time. I did a crazy paint job that time. Usually I do them a little different. Fan is upstairs or downstairs. I'm not sure where that's at. I bought the fan downstairs. Now, as we get ready for the 21s and the new upgrade in technology, we're going to start scouring, which means we're going to start hunting and tracking down just about any product that we can get our hands on to versus that technology when it is available. Right now, I'm curious how many screens. We already have enough certifieds in there. Well, pretty much I know that screen's going to do quite well next to any certified screen. But I want to see how it's going to measure up against some screen paints. So we have a few screen paints already ordered online. While that's drying in the next room. Is that my equipment or that's bikes? I'm curious to see what other screen paints we have out there on the market that we can start purchasing soon. So let me see. I don't need my chair for this. I just need to turn this on. That's the, I call him the sheriff. Drives a nice Harley Davidson. Alright, I'm gonna have to sync this. For some reason my computer, is my computer off? Computer may be off. I gotta come back up here. We gotta start doing our research on screen paints. I wanna see if we can go against, let me see. We had the Gladiators coming out real soon. Those are 21s. I wanna see how it goes side by side to just about every screen paint. So as I said before, the 21s will be coming out soon. And when they launch, I don't care if this bothers you or not, but we're going after everything. I plan to dominate every screen with that screen. The 21s, they'll have sun killer technology embedded. And as I said before, that's why we're signing company contracts with that technology. Now, as I said before, these are test demonstrations. We don't need people in the room to watch this. This is all done for basically to test out our technology, to see, log everything and have to have everything on record. So right now we have the Midnight Mustard here, and then over here we have our new technology under, let's see, this will be the, forget the name of that, but that's the purple technology right there. That screen dried pretty even for the fact that I was basically just scraping to get paint out of it. Let's see if we got which one of these controllers operate this. Which one we can get to work. There we go. I know I need one of these. There we go. So here's what we're going to do. There's no point in me testing against a black screen. We're going to take our purple screen and we're going to basically start collecting more sample sheets, and we're going to test every screen that we can get our hands on against the purple. That's what we're going to start doing. Just to show exactly how powerful this technology is. Ooh, that looks real nice. That's why I had to get 135 of this upstairs. Are we going in or out? Oh, we're in. There we go. Adapters here. Adapters are here. I can finish working on one for getting on VRs today. Yes. Demonstration. Pretty good. Okay. And the rest of these real quick. Alright. Let's see what we gotta do here. Alright. We start off with crow's paint. And then we go to Knox. That's another screen paint. There's 4 other screen paints we need to buy today. Blue screen. Let's see if we can submit something to Screen Innovation. It's time to start getting all these screens knocked out before we start getting ready to start launching the new 21. And make sure we take out as many as we can. Look at that. Purple technology. Better than any screen on the market. And I'm going to say that because it is. This screen was going to beat all 18 certified screens, including all the screen paints we just put orders in for last night, which is Knox NOX. We just put an order in for them. Pro, we just put an order in for you, which will be coming through. We actually ordered 3 of yours that'll be coming through. Goose Screen, we just ordered your screen paint. That will be coming here also too. And then when we start knocking all the screen paints out, well, we got enough certifieds in there. We're missing Screen Innovation and 4 other screens we're missing. And then we'll launch you against the 21s. And then once the value jumps on the technology, the next step is just to bring it off YouTube and to mainstream it. Look how beautiful that looks. That's why I painted a 135-inch of this screen upstairs before it was even tested, because I knew exactly what this thing was going to do. This is one of the best exotic screen paints we've ever designed. The best. Wow. Man, I'm telling you. Got me thinking I should have never made this an exotic. Whatever. We can always upgrade to whatever we want. I keep forgetting that all the technology we have is upgradable, which we can actually make this into 17s if we want. I keep in mind that all the exotics have rear technology capabilities. So we can convert those into 17s. So out of that 1 gallon, I don't know how we're going to bridge out the sizes on what you can paint with this, but so far, out of that gallon container, I was able to paint a 135-inch screen, a 92-inch screen, which we have here, a 98-inch screen. I was able to paint the 50-inch screen twice. The first time, and then painted it again out of a gallon. I think I'm going to be making 5 gallons of this and some of the other stuff we're going to be working on to start getting ready for company contracts. I know I said I wasn't going to do company contracts, but you have to understand at the end of the day, I may get about 32 orders a week in a company contract. I'm guaranteed a minimum of 80 gallons every time an order goes through. Or 200 gallons, whatever I put in my contract, that's what I'm guaranteed to get. Let's see, I want to do that. Let me see, I'm going to test some stuff here. Oh, by the way, we're using this on the 720p 600 by 800 res projector. There's no point in getting the 1080p. We already have that running upstairs. Let's see what we can do to play with this. Let's see, clear. Let's clear, already cleared out. Yeah. Best technology right now. This is the best. It is absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, I tell you, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I love it, I love it. Oh man, this is gorgeous. On a $150 projector, 720p. I guarantee you that this screen's going to hit is 22 feet back, easily, on 1,000 lumens. I'm even tempted today to take it outside and start from the hard demonstrations first. I want to take this outside and I want to do the, I'm going to do 13 feet, then do 16 feet back outside. We usually do those demonstrations last, but I think I'm going to start with the hardest demonstrations first and move down to the easiest. Like I said, I have never ever painted a screen to any one of my screens in my home without going through the test. I got 135 of this upstairs. The minute I painted that screen and I saw that image pop up, I said, yeah, I'm getting this upstairs right now.
rental car at a great price with free cancellation. Book now on Kayak.
Look at that. Man, that's beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful. White screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Give me a chance to see exactly. Hang on, see. Give me a minute. Whoever's texting me, I'll get back with you in another live stream. I'm going to start off with, I gotta know. All right, we do a 3D, Cinema 3D. Do a DMP Supernova right there. You can do we did the parallax right from the door on the 3 screen certified, so we did that right from the door. You know how that one's going to stand up. Let's do a Viva Storm. Oh, you're not going to stare, are you? Bring it out. You know, the piece in it. Let's do a Viva Storm. Viva Storm there. That's the Viva Storm. What else do we have here? I want to do a matinee black. There. And I want to do a Seymour AV 1.3. Seymour AV 1.3. On that one. Seymour AV 1.3 here. Right there. All right, let's see what we get. Oh, we need a controller for that one. That test. So let's see what we get. Seymour AV 1.3. So we should be able to knock out all 18. We have to do the ultra short demonstration next. All right, let's start off with that white level first. See what we can see. Automatically okay. This one needs to be a little flat. It's got a little flat. Okay, it's good. Okay. This one needs to be a little crooked. That's better. All right, let's begin. So let's see what we need to see here. All right, we got this. This is already done. Okay. Next one, let's do this color fade out.
Stay restless with RX, crafted by Lexus. Experience amazing with your Lexus.
They're not going full contrast. I can see that one already from the door. Yep, the white levels are too high. So we got the Lux. We have the DMP Supernova Matinee Black, Seymour AV 1.3, Viva Storm, and a Cinema Gray 5D. Already done. And 135-inch upstairs. We'll knock out all 18 in one hit. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's see, reflection of green. I have no idea what the heck that was. All right, it's going through other colors here. Come on, you need to stay up there. I need to get this testing done. It's very important. It has to be done. Stay up there. I don't know what in the world. People were bragging about that Lux screen. It doesn't even pick up color. Ah, come on now. Stay up there. I think I'm gonna have to paint me a piece of sheet metal. And then I'm gonna have to put in magnetic strips to make sure the stuff stays up there. Yep, there we go. It's kind of like it knows already. It kind of knows that it's going to be tested, and it doesn't want to be there. It's kind of like it already knows. That's what it kind of feels like to me. I usually have a very difficult time pulling it off, but just I'm going to stay on. I guess the argument point would be, well, it's not fair demonstration because our screen's not purple. And again, I can say, well, it's a purple screen and it's each better color than your screen, so I'd explain that. Let's go over to below. Let me go get some heavy, very heavy Velcro so we can get this to stay. Like I said, it's almost like they have a mind of their own, like they know they don't want to be out there. But I'll be back. We'll get some heavy stuff. I'll have no choice but to stay. Let's see you fall off now. I think after I retire, I'm going to design about 10 screens. These will be screens that we will not, you'll not see, will not be displayed. And these screens will be one of a kind, limited editions, and they'll be the last of their kind, and that's it. And they will not be cheap. That's the whole value of basically marketing technology, but they won't be cheap. And the last of our ones we'll be developing. Until then, as I said before, that the reason why I decided to do most of the mass testing against this purple screen is because what better way to be able to show that your product is superior against everybody else's than to do it on a purple screen? Why would they even bother doing it on a gray screen or any other traditional screen? Do it on something completely way outside the box. Because if I was a big corporation and I designed screens and then I found out that some YouTuber outperformed my screen on a purple screen, that would be kind of hard for me to be able to accept. I would have to question that multiple times. Wait, did you just say purple? Yeah. Purple projection screen. The first thing that would pop up in your head through all the calculations and everything you went through in research and developing your technology under gray screens, you'd be banging your head against the wall trying to figure out how is that possible that the screen is purple. And already by then I'm already in your head. It's all about strategy. Because that's not something you're used to seeing. And I'm used to seeing purple screens. And then you're going to get people up there that the hobbyists are going to say, well, this is how it's done. No, Don't mix a couple of paints together and say this is how it's done. Make the product and complete every single test demonstration we did under that product and do it live. If you're going to say that you can do the same thing we can do, then you have to make the product in 20 minutes. You have to display against a 3-screen certified, and then you must display it on every last sample sheet we have in our arsenal that we use in our demonstrations, different forms of projectors, distance throw, the whole 9 yards, and everything has to be done live. Don't mix a couple of colors together and say we have the same thing, because no, you haven't done any of our tests. So it's not that easy. You can't even figure out the color of it. So that's what you're going to have to do. Anytime you say that anyone can make any one of our products, show me the test. Let me see every single test. Let me see all of them done live. That's why we gave a certain individual permission to make the exotics. He had to make all 12 of them. Now 13 now. Well, actually 14, 15. We got 15 of them now. Yeah, he had to make all 15 of them. And he had to make them in that timeline in which we made it. Presenting all tests live. Couldn't do it. We gave him permission. He couldn't do it. We got the heavy stickies on there now. The Gladiators. Gladiators. 21. Sun Killer embedded technology. Advanced. This is color coding technology. They're going to have advanced color coding technology. Calibrate what? Calibrate what? We don't calibrate over here. Calibrate what? Raise some up 5G. I figure we got an extra spot. Might as well fill it. Right there. We got another spot. We got the heavies up there now, so this is not going anywhere. So let me put this up here. So it's gonna stay definitely. All right, so we got CMR 81.3, we got Cinema Grade 5D, we have Vivistar, we have GMP Supernova, we have a matinee black, and we get a matinee silver. Let's get a matinee silver. So we got some dark, and we got some light. Got a Dark Star 9 right here. We can put the Dark Star 9 right there. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 right there. 7 certifieds right there. We did 3 certifieds yesterday. That makes that 10 altogether. As I said before, when someone displays and does a demonstration against a Dark Star 9, Dark Star 9's technology is designed to be used on contrast demonstrations because there's a darker screen, which means that anyone does a demonstration against a Dark Star 9 and saying that, hey, look, I have the same that they do. If you do a demonstration with nothing but beautiful colors on it, you failed. And I'll tell you why you failed. Because you should be displaying a contrast level against a Dark Star 9. As I said before you put money down on my product, Watch the demonstration, see how it's done. Every single demonstration I do on all my screens have to go through this. So if my technology has to go through this, how come everybody else doesn't? So I can show a difference between my technology versus certifieds. Everybody else is not doing the same thing. So what do you know? How do you know what you're getting? How do you know if your projector is actually seeing color? Well, I feel sorry for anyone. I didn't want to put down the company, but if you got 120 of this on your wall right now, this is actually what your projector is seeing. Now, if it's next to a white screen, it's going to show an improvement. All these screens are going to show an improvement next to a white screen. Next to our technology, no, you're not going to see color. That's why that's why I tell people this is why you're in the dark calibrating. You want to tell me you got to calibrate? No, you don't. Unfortunately, your screens just can't see color. Calibrate what? I'm not calibrating anything over here. Crazy? No way. No way. I got 135 inch of this screen on my wall, and it looks absolutely incredible. On a screen, I paid $180 for a white, cheap, generic fixed frame screen, and it looks incredible. And I can use that technology, and I guarantee you tonight to put 18 up there right now, tonight, and that screen will blow every last one of them out of the water with no problem. This is the best, and I'm saying the best out of the exotics. The best. If you got any one of these screens, you already know what you got already from the door. Next to our technology. Next to a white screen, then you're good. You know what I mean? But then again, anything can beat a white screen. I can go to Home Depot, get some great primer, and I can just splash that onto the side of a white screen and still improve the image. That ain't much of a challenge. But as I said before, the reason why they do this is because the majority of most people have white screens. Oh, please. If you have a white screen, you are not, again, you're not seeing nothing. Nothing, 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 nothing. I see nothing. Nada, zip, nothing. Nope, 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 nothing. But my colors look good. They're bright, they're vivid, they're washed out, they're faded. Anybody who's been around black screens and darker screens, you're used to seeing contrast and color all the time. When I see a white screen, I see all the flaws in it. I can't deal with it. That's why when I had my 235.1 silver ticket that you see right next to you right here, and I had that sitting on the floor, I didn't have time to paint it because I had to take care of my customers. What's the first thing I said? I'm not even going to turn my projector on. That thing looks disgusting. Because I know how it's supposed to look. But it's your first time seeing a projection screen for the first time. If a white screen was all that good, you would not be calling me, asking me, why come your images are not popping? How come your contrast is not popping? How come every time you turn the light on, your screen watches and fades out? While your color improves in the dark. But not by much. Well, I'm here to show you what you're missing from your projector. We didn't spend $3,000. We didn't spend $500. We didn't spend $1,500. We spent $150 for the projector behind me, and it's 720p. Oh, certified white screen. Certified white screen on our technology comes up as nothing. Because our screen's picking up such a high vivid color, everything else washes out. That's why our color looks that way. Coding technology. God's technology. I had somebody, a customer say, why do you keep saying R and we? because that's God in me. That's why I say that. Now, see how the darker screens here bring up a slight better blue, right? It's not the blue. Blue is it's supposed to be that color right there. But they at least bring up a slight, the darker the screen, the better the blue color comes up. Look at the white sheet. Look at the white piece of the white screen right there. Don't pick up nothing. But keep in mind, with these certified screens, the darker you go, your price tag starts to jump. You get a higher white level. That's it. I can't remember the last time I heard someone bragging about their projector having a 2000:1 white level. Contrast, not white level. So let's see. You go on Amazon right now, you buy that projector for $300, or you go out and you get that projector for 250 bucks on eBay, and you probably most people look at it like, nah, I'm not gonna buy that. That's 600 by 800 res or 800 by 600, either way you want to put it. It's an SVGA projector. I'm not buying that. Color is not going to look good. It's going to be pixelated. The image is not going to be that sharp. I'm just going to go out and spend the $3,000 or $1,500 for a 1080p or a 4K projector, and then I'll be able to get that picture quality I want. If you can't get it off this projector, you're definitely not going to get off the projector you think you're going to get, because you still can't see color. That projector has a 22,000:1 contrast, and on these screens you can see black. We'll keep going down the color wheel. There we go. Make sure my phone is plugged in. There we go. Well, we definitely not putting that on. I don't need a headache today. All right, let's go over to some contrast levels. Let's see how well they pull up on the star field. Keep in mind, we got a little bit of each on the screen, so we do have some darker screens on there too. Right there, we have a dark star 9 right there, which is the darkest screen out of the entire group. It actually pulls the highest contrast level out of everything here. But keep in mind, this is a purple screen, and it can see contrast levels. It can also mimic a contrast level that's virtually so dark that the rest of these screens come up looking gray, and the screen's purple. If I ever got into an argument with one of these guys, I could say, hey, look, I won't even bother going with the gray or black screen. I'll use a purple screen. There ain't much you can do against that. So this technology will be available as a free color option. All the exotics have free color options attached to them, which means we thought it would be easier, because there's so many of them, instead of basically going in and going one shopping cart for another one and another shopping cart for another one and charging a particular price for that one, we decided to just make them all free color options. So you go into the website, they only come in 1 quart and 2 quarts. We removed the gallons for right now. And then we'll have some weirder colors later on. Now upstairs with 135 inch, that room goes completely dark in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all 18 or as many as we got, and we're all going to throw them all against that screen, turn all the lights out, see if we have a change. If they can keep up to that screen in the dark. At 5,000 lumens projector nailing that screen. Full 1080p Chrissy. Remind you, again, the projector behind me has a 22,000 to 1 contrast. You can't see it. If your screen can't read a contrast level, you're not going to be able to see that 22,000 to 1. And for anybody that may say, well, what if you had a 50,000 to 1? You still can't see it. Even with a 2 million to 1, you still can't see it, because if that was the case, the individual who has that particular projector P2 wouldn't have been able to do a star field demonstration on that screen paint in a fully lit environment and display that black image, which we're doing right now in purple. So it can't do it because there's no color coding in that technology. We're the only ones who have it. Let's go here. I like this demonstration right here. So the background for the demonstration has to remain jet black. And with that, they can't produce the background. Background has to remain black. Sony 4K demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Background's supposed to be black again. There you go. Same thing when I show you the colors red to show exactly what your projector is actually seeing. This is what your projector is seeing when it sees red. That's why your colors come out washed out, and that's why the first thing that goes, they tell you, well, you got to calibrate. Calibrate what? So right now, I got myself a 135-inch screen upstairs on my wall that can outperform any one of these screens with no problem. It will cost my customers nowhere near $4 to $5 grand. But I don't have to calibrate. That when I see red, I see red. When I see blue, I see blue. I'm seeing all my colors correctly. And they just don't wash out. I have to deal with none of that nonsense. The same color coding technology we had embedded into our black silvers, which can produce star field demonstrations outside at around 451, which we have that noted, we have all that recorded. Every video you see is recorded and dated, which means we have live demonstrations to back up every test. And that screen was able to produce a star field outside. That's our gray screen. Outside at 13 feet at 451. Outside. Not inside, outside. I was able to pull that off. And not only pull it off, but was able to do it at a 190-degree viewing angle where I could actually see my screen from inside my house. There's no gray screen that can do that. What most people do, like I said, when they claim that their screens can see a contrast level, they will do that in a dark environment. I can do all my contrast demonstrations in a fully lit environment. That's how they're supposed to be done. because it's easier to camouflage a screen in the dark when you're trying to show contrast. That's why they do them in the dark. This is why every time we request a star field demonstration, it's always ignored because they can't do that demonstration. There's no camouflage of colors or nothing. You're just seeing black and white. That's all you're seeing. Let's go over to that's why I like this exotic mode. This color is gorgeous. I mean, it just pulls the contrast and the white levels and the colors just explode. It's gorgeous. I love this screen. Can you imagine this hanging up on your wall on a thin sheet of plexiglass? And you saw when I paint it, it's purple. But when they dry nice and dark. Some people think they're going to get this high fluorescent purple screen on their... No, you're not getting that. Contrast test demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
Okay, eventually they butchered. They butchered big time. Good gracious, they butchered big time. My goodness. I like to do this one right here. And then we'll switch on to some other ones. And somebody, we know who it is, but we had added the individual had a nerve to send me a email asking if I was colorblind. Now, I'm not colorblind, but I think you may be, because your screens can't pick up color. And that screen right there is purple, and it's picking up a contrast level. Actually, 2 contrast levels, the background, which is black, and the horse. And like I said, if that's not the case, then your technology can do the same thing. Well, like I said, you could display that in a fully lit environment today and show that horse on that screen paint in a fully lit environment, which means you have to pull those curtains up behind you, light that whole entire room up. Show me a contrast demonstration. Can't do it because your screens can't see, they can't see black. And this is purple and it can see black better than your screen. Better than all these screens over here, and it costs my customers a lot of money. But we'll find out, because like I said, I ordered the rest of your screen paints. They'll be here soon. And you'll go side by side with the Gladiator, the 21, the Sun Killer. Those screens are designed, they can be used inside, but their main strong points are direct sunlight hits. Now, this is just the beginning, people. This stuff you're seeing right here is the beginning. This is the build up to the monsters that we're building, the bigger, the more powerful screens. All this technology you're seeing is going to be embedded into a bigger and more advanced form of technology. Now, the reason why the contract's needed because the screen gets exposure. I told you I need more exposure for the technology, a lot of exposure. And what better way to get exposure for a screen is a screen that does not fit in any category whatsoever, and that would be the exotics. Because as of today, there is no such thing as a yellow screen or a blue screen or a green screen. Well, green screen if you're going to be doing special effects, but not the way we use them. Purple, chocolate, screens don't exist. Let's go to more contrast. Now contrast levels next to the black Nova, no. This screen couldn't compete next to a black Nova. We talking about side-by-side contrast demonstrations? No, black Nova would take this apart. Because that screen produces a 100% contrast. This technology can mimic a contrast level. But if you were to put them side by side, you wouldn't be able to tell one from the other, which we're going to have to do. Got a couple of those painted around the house. This is a contrast test demonstration right here for OLED TVs and stuff like that. And as I said before, we did the same demonstration a couple of days ago on the blue screen, and that screen over there pulled a black contrast level with all that light. See if we got any more on here. This is the ones they usually use. When they want to show off contrast, they'll use one of these. This is not a contrast demonstration. There are way too many colors popping off in here for this to be a contrast demonstration. It's too easy. And then go look at the black levels. There are really no black levels in this. It's too easy of a demonstration. There's so many colors in here popping off. That's not a black contrast demonstration. No. That's what I like to do, Starfield. Starfield demonstrations, there's no way around it. And this one right here, the Sony 4K. That's another dark demonstration right there. Because if you can't pull that black background, it's going to pop up on your screen not being able to pull it. So let me explain something to really quick here. Now, I know that that Cinemax that you have, we just ordered when it gets here, and we'll show you, it's much lighter than the Metallica Mix 2.0 and the Personal Mix. It's way lighter. If you're lighter than these screens, there is no way in the world on God's green planet you're ever going to pull up a contrast level next to one of these screens, or even color or anything else whatsoever. Period. I'm just telling you from the door, that's what's going to happen. Just give you an idea exactly how brutal it's going to get. Mind you, we're inside. We're going to be doing a lot of these demonstrations this summer outside. And when you wanted to go against the Black Novas are extremely black screens. Even your UV mix couldn't even stand against that screen. It turned it gray against that technology. This is what to show you that since you keep doing these demonstrations against that that Cinemax, and I see how you do those demonstrations, you keep it in the dark because that's the best way you're going to be to show an image. Now, like I said, when I do the black screens, I can take white sheets of paper and I can stick it against my screen and a white sample sheet, and I can show you white levels on snowstorms and so forth to show that the white levels are not going to be so dark that you can't see the screen. But yet, when I ask you to do that demonstration on black sheets of paper on your screen and do that demonstration on doing contrast levels, you never did it. And that's one thing I sat there and said to a customer I was talking today. I said, no one does demonstrations on our levels because we're the only ones that do demonstrations like that. And when we throw those challenges out there, they're never met. And he had to agree. He said, yeah, you're right. They are never met. This is your screen going against a purple screen that can see contrast in color, which shows the technology we're using is using color coding technology. Your screens don't have that capability. That's why I can't see it. And when I say do a contrast demonstrations, that's why I require demonstrations where you're not going to have a bunch of colors flashing back and forth across the screen to camouflage the screen. And when you do these demonstrations, you do them in a dark environment. No, fully lit environment when you do a contrast demonstration. My blue screen did the exact same thing, and that's a blue screen. You see the shine coming off that table right there from outside the window? See the green and all that? Now watch this. Nothing, 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 nothing. Again, it'd be different if this was a jet black screen, but it's not. It's purple. And you can see the reflection coming off that glass. This is why contrast is very, very important for a screen to be able to read contrast. The background is completely washed out. If your Cinemax is anywhere lighter than these screens, it's going to struggle like crazy. It may even come up like that white sheet of paper, or nothing will come up. Now, what we'll do is, like I said before, that not saying, and some people take it out of content, not saying this product doesn't work. This product does work. If you're going to put it against a white screen, it's going to show a bit of an advancement on a white screen. It is. But when you put your stuff and trying to say you're the same thing we are, no, you don't stack up anywhere on any category of our technology whatsoever. And like I said, once I have all your product here, I'll run it through the grinder, through every last one of technology we have here, and you won't be to match any one of those screens on any one of those tests. Because I know for a fact, because you don't run the same test yourself. That's how I know. Same thing when I go in and I watch Elite Screens and all those big companies. I watch all their demonstrations. I watch how they hide the light. I watch on how the caliber projectors they're using. If they show angle gain in the demonstrations. I watch all that because that allows me to know that, okay, if I stick this screen in this environment, it's going to flaw here, it's going to flaw here, it's going to flaw here. I can read all your flaws. Now, you want to come in and try to do the same thing by trying to analyze my videos. Knock yourself out. Keep in mind, at the end of the day, when you're showing off my demonstrations, I literally have more light in my demonstrations that you have in your environment where you're displaying my videos. I didn't see you when you did the demonstration with the horse, that you never said, well, look, I'm going to show you how it's done. Did you put that horse on your screen and do it in a fully lit environment? No, because your screen can't pull contrast, even with the 2,000,000:1 P2. You can't see it. That's why you didn't do the same demonstration. You all sit there and try to pick apart my work, but y'all don't do the same demonstrations that I do. Do it better. You can't, because you don't do them yourself. I know all the little tricks that you use. I know that you only use sample sheets that are going to blend well with your screen and they're not going to struggle too much. I know you pick out certain videos that are going to play well with your screen. The big companies do it too. They rehearse the whole entire line. I don't do that. I can do projector swap outs. I can actually change my videos back and forth from white levels to contrast to colors. I can throw multiple forms of high performance screens against my screen. It just gets better. But y'all don't do that because y'all keep it in a nice, comfortable environment. And because you keep it in a nice, comfortable environment, I know that when it comes here, it's not going to do well because we don't have comfortable environments over here. People have to understand that I used to watch all this every time. I'm telling you something. And a true example, you know what conditioning is in martial arts? Conditioning the body. That's making the body take hits over and over and over again, 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 so you can condition it for pain, you can condition it to absorb blows, so you can take that impact over and over and over again. You don't condition your soldiers. What happens is when he gets into a fight and someone throws a side kick or a jump kick, a back kick, crescent kick, and they catch him with this and he doesn't block it fast enough, he takes that hit and it gets in there, he's going to crumble like a wet piece of paper out in the rain because he's not designed to take a hit. So I watched this when we go to classes, that they would baby the students and they wouldn't basically be wearing spar gear when they would fight. When we were training, we didn't use spar gear. We used full contact. So if you got hit, you got hit. You just got the freak back up, dusted it off, or swallowed your blood and got back in and did what you needed to do. But when we went to tournaments and we fought with people that basically that weren't trained that way, they could hit us. We could walk right through them with no problem because we were trained differently. So that's why if I bring your technology over here, any other screen, I can see how you do your demonstrations. Y'all do everything to basically pamper the screen. You're not used to being in a harsh environment. You're not used to going under vigorous testing. You're not used to it. Our screens are used to it. They're used to the punishment. (22,000:1 contrast. That's a white screen. That's your gray screens. That's what would have happened if you had tried to do that demonstration and tried to do the same thing I did. Now, keep in mind, like I said, in the video demonstration I displayed a Black Nova. And you asked me, did I need glasses? No, I don't need glasses because I can clearly see that you do need glasses, because if that was the case, like I said, you could take the same demonstration of that black horse and present that onto that Cinemax and do the same thing in the same well-lit environment. You actually displayed my video well lit in that bright environment in your environment that was dark. You should have mimicked the exact same thing as in showing you the horse, like the demonstration you did with the, I guess at LG. Like I said, I displayed that everywhere in my house with the lights on. Even did projector swap outs on it. And I was still able to produce that contrast level with no problem. As a matter of fact, I did that demonstration on the 17th signature while the windows were open, while I had a 130 watt lamp in the middle center of the screen and 200 watts over top the screen, and still produced that image. Like I said, at the end of the day, his product does work, but you trying to stack it up against ours? No, no. Right now, if I take your product and if I run it through this, it's not going to go well. This is how your contrast levels are supposed to be displayed. Fully lit environment at all times.
We've been waiting for this. The chance to help you get ready once again.
And if you're saying your Cinemax or whatever that is, the paint you have, can compete with a black Nova and contrast, all right, no problem. I'll paint half of that with your screen and the other half with a black Nova. And we even got the big stickies up there. Calibrate what? So I don't tell you how to calibrate projectors when it comes to our technology. Calibrate what? Sorry, white levels are too high. You're whitewashing your own screen. Look at the white screen. Ain't much of a difference, to tell you the truth, between you and the white screen. Macaroni. I could go for some macaroni about right now. And this is the one you always like to use. Not picking up in here either, because we have our lights on. If anybody's saying, well, it's not fair, you should be in the... There you go. This answers your own question. Why you have to be in the dark? I don't. Now in this demonstration, usually they do this one right here because they figure you won't notice and you won't be able to see where the screen is failing when it comes to contrast. Anything that pops up on the screen that has any kind of black tone or colors to it, the screen will automatically fade. But if our technology wasn't there, you wouldn't be able to see it. And then they'll turn out the lights and do it in the dark and say, look, I can pull contrast level. Now they're going to pull slightly better than a white screen. Like I said, against the white screen, there is going to be an improvement. But next to our technology, no. Our technology is going to show where the screen is going to flaw. I said, guys, technology is amazing. It's amazing because, like I said, at the end of the day, that's where my knowledge comes from. And his technology is flawless. You watch me buy screens and throw screens and go order screens and throw more certified screens. I don't have a selection of comfortable screens. I go out and you watch me buy screens. Let's see what they got. Let's see what they got. Let's see what they got. And keep throwing them against my screen. Keep throwing against my screen. And each one we do it, what's the outcome? It ain't like I'm doing 2 and 3 sample sheets and going, look, my technology is just as good as the high performance screens. You watch me go out there and hunt down these screens and do these demonstrations. Oh, Vivistorm got a bunch of screens. Let's go buy them. Let's get these screens from him. Let's go buy them. Matter of fact, I just bought screens from Elite Screens. I bought their new their ceiling light projection. I got the 2, but I didn't get the 3. The 3 is what I'm trying to get right now because that's one of the top ones I got. But as you see me go out and buy different forms of screens to throw against my screen. I don't just have 3 different selections. I have bunches of them. Then when I go and buy projectors, what's the first thing you see me do? Buy a cheap projector. I got the projector for 50 bucks. We got this for 20 bucks a day. We got this for 60 bucks a day. What's the first thing we do? Bring it here, unbox it. None of the settings have changed. Bam, throw it against the screen, throw it against that screen, throw it against the ceiling. There you go. They don't do demonstrations like that. Let's take it outside and let's have some fun with 1,000 lumens. They don't do that either. And stay far away from them challenges.
We make USAA insurance for members like Mark, an Air Force veteran native doing what's right, not what.
See right here, I stand correctly. See where the greens are not coming up? That bird is a deep green, not a light green. It's a deep green. Not getting a brighter image, you get a washed out image. We got the bigger birds on. Here we go. Perfect example right there. And you're talking about a purple screen that's reading color better than your screen. And it's purple. And it can read color better than your screen. Get your white levels next to that screen and see how you can watch how your colors wash out. Because your screens don't have, your paint doesn't have color coding technology, it doesn't have ambient light rejection technology, it doesn't have any of the technology our screens bear. None of our technology at all. I don't know how in the world you keep putting yourself in the same category as our technology. I don't know where you get that from. The same would follow by if any one of these big companies decided to go, you know what? We got the same thing he has. Oh, please do make that suggestion that you do. Please do. I really would look forward to that if you were to basically do something like that. Go out and say, well, yeah, please do. I'll take that challenge. I will. Matter of fact, you could design something and I'll have something here waiting for you in 20 minutes to take it down. So when people are saying, oh, but you're becoming too arrogant. No, it's not coming arrogant. Yeah, I'm tired of basically big companies out here basically charging all this money for these overpriced, expensive screens. You got to go through all these little formalities and jump through loops in order to get the screen to play right. Got to have expensive projectors, and you got to calibrate the very projector that you just bought because the images and the colors don't come up correctly, or poorly lit environments, ambient light controlled environments, a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo at the end of the day. And then you got these hobbyists that come on here. Now, I'm saying all of them, but these particular ones that come on here, they're going to cut corners and smoke some mirrors and all that other dumb nonsense, and don't want to do their job correctly, the way it's supposed to be done. And like I said, if your product doesn't do what it's supposed to do, then guess what? Then be honest with your customers and say, okay, look, this is not an ambient light rejection screen, which you have said, but you're doing demonstrations, trying to do demonstrations in fully lit environments. And if you are not ambient light rejection, you have no business coming in here and trying to be like us, because we are ambient light rejection technology. So for you to come in and say, well, you know, you don't need ambient light rejection. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. That's why your demonstrations are all done in the dark, and that's why I can do demonstrations in fully lit environments. And my customers, some of the people come in after yell at me saying, for goodness sake, can you do one demonstration with the lights out? Yeah, that's what I get all the time. I don't get the other one. I do my demonstrations with lights on. But like I said, at the end of the day, a lot of these people are going to be using these screens in fully lit environments anyway. Most people have ultra short throw projectors. We're not going to use an ultra short throw projector for a theater setup. It's set up for basically something for like a living room, a lounge, a comfortable area where we're going to have lots of lights and people are going to be in there reading and on their phone and stuff like that. That's what it's designed for, you know? Let me know the last time you saw a demonstration with an ultra short throw, it was set up in a dedicated theater setup, because I've never seen one. I've actually seen most of them in lounges and stuff like that. But you don't have any of our, whatever this is, I don't know. I am done, people. I mean, man, I haven't even started the testing on it. The testing hasn't been started on this technology yet. This is not the testing part. This is having fun. No, we haven't done the testing yet. Testing starts on Monday. This is fun. This is basically taking screens and throwing them up the screens just for fun. I know how this is going to turn out from the door. This is going to get a label automatically from the door. And the reason why I know it's going to get a label, because I told you, I painted 135 of this upstairs before the screen was ever even tested. The first test that exotics have to go through when they're first designed, under the 20 minutes, they have to go against a 3-screen certify, which means they pass that. That means they're ready for the next level. But this hasn't even been tested yet. We're not even anywhere near testing done yet. This is just having a little fun. That's basically about it. We'll get a chance to throw all these up there, get that done, patterns, whatever has been done. Give it its label, put it on the website, and it's finished. But until then, I'm going to go upstairs and game on the big one I got upstairs, because my driver has got time all day today to do some gaming, and I'm definitely planning to do some World War Z off that screen. All right, that being said, I'm out of here. Thank you all for your time. I got to go, and God bless.